really was been meaning to do tshuva because they say Tamuz is Rosh Tevis. How does it go? Tamuz is Rosh Tevis. Zman tshuva memashmesh uba. That's Rosh Tevis Tamuz. Well, not in order, but Zman tshuva memashmesh uba. So Tamuz is the time you have to start thinking about Elul and Tishrei, right? It feels like it's so far off, but before you know it, Tamuz and Av skips by Yom Haltach Shem Be'elul.
So the 3 weeks start what, in 2 weeks?
The 3 weeks start in about 2 weeks, yeah.
In about 2 weeks.
So, whatever, 2.5 weeks, yeah. So the story is that so I really should have done tshuva and been prepared a little bit for this. At least I have something to say about Kara. But I don't even have much down here to even look at it while I'm talking to see if I can come up with something. But let's talk a little bit about Tamuz. Okay, Tamuz and Av are 2 months that go together, and the Bnei Yisachar, She'el Medinav, has a shtickle, and he always talks about the Chadashim, and he brings about a little bit of the pneumius of Chodesh and Av, of Tamuz and Av. So Tamuz, he always starts off with the tzir for the Shem Havai of the month, right? We spoke about this probably around the last Rosh Chodesh. If you look in the Siddur I do have, right? So you have in Musaf of Rosh Chodesh, you have the 12 tziruf for Shem Havai.
I was going to say that's the order of the Yud Kei Vav case.
Yeah. So it's divided up in threes. So actually, the first three, Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, start with Yuds, and then they switch around after that. Nisan is regular Yud Kei Vav K, Iyar is Yud Kei Kei Vav, and Sivan is Yud Vav Kei Kei. Okay. Tamuz starts the tziruf of the Hays. Okay, so Tamuz is Kei Vav Kei Yud. Av is Kei Vav Yud Kei, which would be Havaya, the way we say Shem Hashem, with Maram is Shem Hashem. And El is KK Vav Yud. Okay, so that's and then Tishrei starts with the tziruf from above, 3 tziruf from above, right? Tishrei is Vav K Yud K, Cheshvan is Vav K K Yud, and Kislev is Vav Yud K K, and then Teva starts the tziruf from the second the next Hey, and then there's K Yud K Vav Vav K K Yud Vav and Av. And if there's Adasheni, and Adasheni is a tzir from all, is Kyle all them. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So the Chodesh, well, they say Adasheni is Kneged Yosef, and as you know, Yosef is a midah of Yisayid, which is always Kyle HaKol, right? All the midas come and they gather in midas HaYisayid, and Kol always refers to the midah of Yisayid, meaning you have in Vayivrach David, right? You have the Zayin midas Hatachtainus. You have L'cha Hashem, Ari's favorite song. So those are the first right. So Ki Chol B'Shemayim V'Aretz is midas Yisayid, which is called Kol, and it's the mechaber of Shemayim V'Aretz.
Does this have anything to do with when we say in benching? Not in benching. What do we say? Hashem Berachas Avram Bakol Mikol Kol or whatever it is.
Yeah, that is a site. Right, that is the site of Bakol. Yeah, of Kol Mikol Kol. Yeah, all these things. Right. That bracha comes through the mid of Yisayid, and it's mechaber of Shemayim and Aretz, and then you say L'cha Hashem HaMamlocha, which is Malchus, which is the midah of the the bottom midah, right? So that's why Taka Adasheni, which is Kneged Yosef, which means it's Kol HaKol, right? It's the funnel. And that's the union of a tzaddik, right? A tzaddik, he gathers everything, he takes nothing for himself, and he funnels it to all bracha in the world comes because the tzaddikim, right? It says Chanina B'ni. Kol Olam Nizay Mishra Chanina B'ni, Chanina B'ni Dailay B'Kav Charuvin, Me'erev Shabbos, because tzaddikim they gather all the bracha in the world. Kol Olam Nizay Mishra Chanina B'ni, right? But they don't take for themselves. They're not a midah that take for themselves. They're just a midah that takes to distribute to others. So the months of Tammuz and Av are very much connected. And besides them having the tzir of Isis, the Shem Havaya, which are unique, which start with the Ice Hay, and Ice Hay has to do with midas, has to do with din. Even though here it looks like it's Hey Rishona, which is less din, obviously, than Ha'achrona. But but once you start doing tziruf and starting, the way it works is I say, the Ice Yud is Chesed, right? And when you have Shem Hashem Keseder Yud Ke Vav Ke, right? That's Shem HaChesed. Nisan is a Chodesh of Kula Chesed. That's Yitzias Mitzrayim, and that's the tziruf is Yud Ke Vav Ke. When you start doing the tzirufim out of order, that shows Midas Hadin. And the more out of order you are, the more Midas Hadin it is. So Mela, Chodesh Tamuz is the month where the Shem Hashem is totally backwards. It's K Vav, K Yud. It's in Gantan backwards. So it comes out that Chodesh Tamuz appeared the tzir of Isis, the Shem Havaya, appears to be a month of the greatest din. And that's what the Bnei Yissaschar says. Tammuz is the month of the greatest din, right? The 3 weeks started Tammuz, but he says up until Shivas Tammuz, what went on up to Shivas Tammuz, or what happened to Shivas Tammuz, right? Well,
that was when they breached. They breached Yerushalayim. The 5 things.
Yeah, the Lucha is Shvius, and Lucha is right, and you have they breached the wall and held some Behechel. But he says Tammuz starts in Midas Hadin. Why? Because why was there a Churban Bichlal and Tishba? Well, that's last week's parsha. Because the Meraglim. You know when the Meraglim started their trip? How long did they go for? 40 days. They came back on Tisha B'Av. So when did they go? They went Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, right? So Tammuz was the beginning of Tammuz, where the Meraglim started there, Lasar Sa'aret, and that was and that ultimately was the downfall. That's what Klal Yisrael.
That means Tammuz has to always be Molei, have 31 days if they came back on Tisha B'Av.
Well, if you have 30 days and you came back on Tisha B'Av.
That's 39.
Yeah, okay. So maybe they left Eresh Chodesh for it, but or they count day 1 through 30 and through 9. Yeah, so they left the day before the Rosh Chodesh. They came back on Tisha B'Av Pashtus, and so they left the day early. But at the Pekitza, you made Tammuz, and the entire month of Tammuz was part of what was covered by the Meraglims going below Sur Sa'aretz. So Meli says that Chodesh Tammuz is aggressive. Then that's what's Merumas in the Shem Hashem. Masha'en came when you get to Av, which we look at as Av as being the month of Din. He says, but month of Av it flips over right after you pass Tisha B'Av, right? Things pick up speed, right? And he says a turning point when Av switches from Din to Rachamim is by Tu B'Av. By time we saw Mission Tainus, right? It's a Yantish Chamishas B'Av. That's when the Midas Hadin of Av flips over to Midas Rachamim. So he says, look at the Shem Havaya in Shem Hashem in Chodesh Av. So Shem Hashem in Chodesh Av, Mamash shows that. How? Because Shem Hashem in Chodesh Av is K Vav Yud K Havaya, right? So K Vav is backwards. It's the K, the last K, and then the Vav, so it's backwards. But what happens at the halfway point to Shem Hashem? It flips over,
and it looks like it goes back in sequence.
If it goes to Yud K is the beginning of the Shem, and it's in order, and Yud K is Chesed. So he says, so in the tzir for the Isis of Shem Chodesh Av, which is Havaya, you see that you actually see the flip of the Midah Masha'en came when you get to Chodesh Tammuz. It's the Ganzen Kum Fakert. It's K Vav K Yud, and Memela this shows in Ganzen Midas Hadin. Okay, that's the way the Bnei Yissaschar says about Tammuz and Av. Now he says Tammuz and Av. That's the Sefer Yetzirah says every month is connected one of the Isis in the Aleph base. You could ask me, there's more than 12 Isis in the Aleph base, but it's connected the Yud base Pshutais in the Aleph base. There's 22 letters in the Aleph base, but there are 12 Pshutais. Okay, why the Pshutais is because they don't have Dagishes, and they are not from Aleph, Mem, and Shin are called the are called the Shroshim, and you have the Pshutais are there are 7 Degushais, and there are Yud Beis Pshutais. Okay, so then the Yud Beis Pshutais are Hey, Vav, Zayin, Ches, Tes, Yud, and so when you start Nisan from Hey, Nisan
Ear, Sivan, Tamuz, Tamuz, Hey, Vav, Zayin, Ches.
Right, so Tamuz is Ches, and Av is Tes. And he says, hey, look at these 2 months of Din. You put together the 2 Isis, what do you get? You get Chet, right? And that's Chet Chot Yerushalayim Zot Bnei Yisachar.
Maybe the test is Tisha B'Av and the Ches is, I don't know, Ches B'Tamuz. I don't know, something happened on Ches B'Tamuz, maybe?
I'm not sure.
Ches and Tes is Shiva Aser.
Right, there you go. Ches Tes Shiva Aser. Right, and Ches and Tes is Chet. Right, it's stated in Sarah Makdashim that the Yud Beis Shvatim, right, which are connected the Yud Beis Chadashim, right? There's no ice ches and no ice tes in the Shemus of the Shvatim because they were shleimim ve'ein behem chet.
Right, that's why you have Shiftei Yeshua and then you have Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, so you get the ches and the tes.
Right. So there's
a few letters that are missing, or is it just the ches and tes?
That I'm not sure. I think a
tzaddik is missing. There's a tzaddik missing.
Yeah,
I think it's like 4 or 5 letters that are missing.
It could be.
My brother has a whole shtickle on that.
Yeah, but nida in lidon, right? There's no ches and tes. And Tamuz and Av, these are the Chadoshim that have a shaykhus to Chet. When the Gemara says Chet, you talk about Stam Chet. What's a Stam Chet? You talk about Stam Chet. What is Stam Chet, Aryeh? Stam Chet hat zu tun mit Arayas, right? With the Chatam that come from the type of Arayas. Yeah, Chetav and Pasha, there is an of Pesha versus Pasha is Myred and Mazid and Shaygig. Maybe Chet can have a connotation with Shaygig, but that may be a different shmiz. But the point is that Ari, thank you. I lost my train of thought. The point is that, can you rewind the tape? Hello, that empty chair is throwing me off also. So what was I going to say? So
Test is gematria chet.
I say stam chet in Chazal. You say stam chet is arayis. As I state, right? It says that someone's chata minastam has to do with arayis. So we talk about, which is ultimately, as we all know, that this is the main type in the belt. Right? Interestingly enough, I said so recently. I said to you guys, but Tzadok HaKohen said that Avodah Zarah, he says, is the Indian of is from the various Chamurs. He says every Avodah Zarah always, when you dig deeper into the Avodah Zarah, you're always going to find that there's a Gila Arayis over there. It's always leading. It's an entrance way to the Tachlis. The Tachlis of all Chet ultimately is Arayis, which drags people down. What is the ultimately? Right, and he was Baal Chava, no, for sure. And it has to do that he saw that they would be mashamish, right? All these things that type is very 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 evident in the Cheta Nachash, Cheta of Adam and Chava. Chisa'ava huleinayim. When you talk about the Chet of Arayis, it's always going to be that they nayim are the sasure hachet, right? It's not like a guy sees a gold watch, says, I want to steal it. That's not exactly how a guy gets inspired to steal a gold watch, because he saw it. You talk about the Naim of the Sisuri Hachet. You talk about the Sisuri of the Sarsor, which means they are the agents of the Stam Chet, which is Arayis. So, Ru'uda Repelas, Arizal tells us that the Chadashim of Chodesh, every Chodesh is connected one of the Ivari HaGuf, And besides everything being connected to Avarei Guf, they're also connected Avarei Ha Rosh also. Because in the body you have a Rosh, which has its own shleimus, and you have the Guf, which has its own shleimus. He says that the Arizal says that Tamuz and Av, Tamuz is Ayin Yamin, right eye, Av is Ayin Smo. Like these months are connected, the Indian fin Einayim. Thus haste that if there's chet, if there's din and there's chet in the vel, that means the Einayim of a person are under assault in the Chadashim of Tamuz and Av. Now, isn't that a Re'uda Repella? Come to Tamuz and Av. This is this man where Al Pisayt, Al Pnimis HaTorah, our Einayim need their tikkun, right? Meaning Tamuz and Av means it's connected to Einayim. That means it's this man of tikkun Einayim. So you would think if the man of tikkun Einayim, that would be in like November, December, January, right? The best time.
Winter time.
Tarot says, no, it's Pumfaker. It's Manti Misakan Einayim. So what happens? You get Nisyonis in Einayim. Because every Nisyon ultimately is not to get you. The Nisyon is there to give you an opportunity to misaken yourself. So you're making Nisyon and you're misaken. So Chodesh Baruch Hu doesn't tell you for us. We need to misaken Einayim. When misaken something, you need to have a Nisyon. Have a Nisyon. So Chodesh Baruch Hu makes the world very hot. And lo and behold, everybody follows the orders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They start walking around the street, not being sneers, right? And the Mele Klal Yisrael has an opportunity to be misaken Einayim in the Chadashim of Tamuz and Av. So it's just an interesting way to it's a new view on the world. And you go out into the world and you say, look at this. What does Rebbe want from me? Right? What does he expect from me? This is the way it makes the world. Everybody walks around like this anyway. And there are people talk about it. What does he want from me? What does he expect? I'm not human. Right? You make it like this, so this is so that I'm not. This obviously you don't mind, right? There's a pufaker. HaKadosh Baruch Hu minds very much, but he wants so much for you to get a tikkun. To get a tikkun, you have to have an aside. For that to the unbid aside, what do you have to do? You have to steep your day in davening and in learning, and from your shemayim and raise up your connection to Avodas Hashem. That becomes much more compelling. And in Mela, person has a hechatimsa too. The aimei be nisayin. So because of that is a little bit about Chodesh Tamuz and Av. I have a little shtickle shmooze about Kevav Keyud, but we'll get to maybe a different time. Maybe next week we'll cover the Tamuz again. Let me just put my air conditioner over here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we went through this. Yeah, there are different series and then brought down for different people. Let me just get this on 1 second. Okay. Yeah, we went through this. Yeah. So let me just theorize. Right. Thanks for reminding me. See, Mama, she reminded me what I wanted to speak about. Sometimes you start talking and forget what you want to speak about. But the Seif Tavis of Keva, the Keva of Keyud, which is the Rosh Tavis of Chodesh of Tamuz, right? Where do they come from? Where are they merumas in the watch pasuk? I mean, if you look at the Siddur, they always bring it out of pasuk. Kol zeh einenu shayver li, right? Which is what Haman Rasha says, right? There's a Seif Tavis of zeh einenu shayver li. So that is something that Rishua said over on Shabbos. He says, I said, that we have to learn from Haman ultimately, right? Haman, he had everything. He was Mishnah Melech. He had the whole world bowing down to him. And what was his problem? Mordechai. Right? So this is the Indian of Haman. Haman, he has everything. He has one thing, right? And he's not happy, right? And he says, so Rishon said Isaiah, he says, Mahalzach Tamuz and Av, right? And Baruch Hashem, things are okay by us. We have what we need. We have a house, we have a liquor cabinet, we have a car, we have air conditioning, right? Baruch Hashem. And so Baal isn't so bad, right? So maybe we should be mistopic. He said, no, we have to take the midah of Haman and use it l'taiva. Right? Nothing's worth anything. We're learning, we're davening, we're eating, we're making brachas, we're doing all sorts of things, but nothing's worth anything for me. B'shah shani raya, that there's no Beis Hamikdash. Right? When a person recognizes that you have to be teveya, shleimus, right? And it's a person has the ability to be like Haman. Haman has a lot, but he's not happy till he has a shleimus. But we have to also be able to say, Chol Zeh, Neni Shavali, nothing's worth anything to me. I'm learning, I'm davening, I feel like I have my Jagus, I have whatever I think I have nachas, Baruch Hashem, and I have this, and I have that. But Chol Zeh, Neni Shavali, this is the meat that we have to put on in order to insist that nothing's worth anything if there's no Beis Hamikdash and Kaviyachal Kadosh Baruch Hu's covered is mushbo at she'oil tachtia. Okay, let me let Abyssal Makas do.